talk about this camp obviously being a little bit different, being with Khabib. What was that like training with Khabib, and was there any, positive effects that you actually did take in there into the octagon below?
Yeah, honestly, it was amazing. It was one of those things where the whole time me and my coach were looking at each other, because my coach came down here with me for 5 weeks.
Oh,
Shout out to Lou Taylor, yeah. And we're telling each other like, man, look where we are now. Like we're training with Habib's a guy that I've looked up to my whole career, a guy that the Muslim world loves, and
yes.
he's a superstar. There's guys that are like stars, and then there's guys that are next level superstars. He's a next
Right.
level superstar, and I'm learning from this guy. I'm training with this guy. We're eating together. We're driving in the same vans. So that whole thing was like surreal. But when it came to the training wise, like these guys train different. It's the hard work that we put in. It was another level. And him as a coach, he's like a tyrant. Like he puts he's like how Michael Jordan was in the
Yeah.
last day. His teammates were hating him, but he just wanted to pull the greatness out of you. That's what Khabib wants. He wants to pull the greatness out of you. So he pushes you to levels that guys with I put it as like you go for a jog. I'm gonna go for a 3 mile jog, and then you go for a 3 mile jog, and you're like, all right, that was good enough, even though you didn't sweat or even like breathe hard. Like he's like, no, we're gonna go until we're tired.
Wow.
He's like how Mike Tyson used to say, oh, I do push-ups at 100. That's when my arms are tired. Now the push-ups really count. That's what Khabib is. He's gonna push you to different levels. Yeah. So it was amazing to see and learn from him. And it just made me level up. In training side by side with the current champion now, Islam Mackhachev, seeing how good he really is. Because you hear it all the time, rumors and stuff. Oh, Islam's going to be better than Khabib. And you're thinking, oh, it's just because his teammates are saying that. But going with him, literally getting beat up by him every day at practice, getting tapped out by him, I was like, dude, this guy is another level. So if these guys are doing this to me, there's nothing that Sean Brady could do to me. Like I've already been through. I already drowned 20 times this camp. So now I can swim. Now I got my life right on.
It's like when it's like baseball, Bilal, like you put that, like, or you hold two bats in like the on deck circle, and then when you get to the plate, right, then it's easy. You're never pushed more than you are in training. So is that the difference? Because you hear people say, like, what's special about these guys? Is that it? They just sound like they just outwork everybody.
Yeah, like people are like, oh, what do they do different? Do they do this? Do they have like a science, different type of strength program? I'm like, no, bro. It's literally like you said, outworking people. We were going from sparring, like in normal practices, like in America where I'm at, or other gyms I trained at. It's like, all right, well, today's sparring day, or today's wrestling day, or today's grappling day. Like them, it's every day's that. Like every day
is everything.
We sparred, then we went to straight up grappling, and then after 10 rounds of those two, Khabib puts his shorts on and get in the cage with me. And I'm like, huh? Like what do you mean? And then my coach is looking at me like a scared parent, like, oh, go ahead, Khabib called you. And I'm looking at him like please tell him to stop. Like this is abuse. And going with him, he still got it. Like, it's not like he retired and fell off.
Right.
He's still a monster. And he put me in the cage and he's on top of me. He's taking me down at will. And like he
probably weigh. It looks like he might weigh a little bit more than you now, too, Bilal, right?
Bro, yeah, like I said in the case, I'm like, bro, he's heavyweight Khabib now, and he's having a conversation as he's on top of me, and it's like disrespectful. But I'm like, what do I do? Like I can't do anything. So just having to go through all of that, it mentally it leveled me up, because a lot of guys, they can't go through that. Like there's guys that, all right, if I get beat up by this guy, I don't want to go with this guy no more. I want to shy away from him next time. Me, I'm a guy that, this guy got me with something. I want to go by him tomorrow and see if I get better. Like Javier Mendez, coach, he told me, like, after I went with Khabib the first time, he's like, he does that to everybody. And he's like, just tell yourself this: if you make him work 1% harder the next time you go with him, that means you got better. Make him work 1% harder, because you're not going to make him work 10 or 20% harder in a couple of days. Like, it's going to take months to make him work that much harder. But if you make him work 1% harder, you gotten better. You've grown. And just keep telling yourself that. And that's what I told myself to soul camps. Like, all right, week 1 is way different than week 5 with these guys. Yeah. And I can't wait till next week, because it's fight week.
We're not live, Bilal, obviously, but I can hear people wanting me to ask, what's the difference between being in there with Islam and being in there with Khabib? Is there Is one feel stronger? Is one feel more dangerous? Are they similar to each other? What was it like? Because that's like a fight. I know it obviously is never going to happen, but fans wonder what would it look like.
Man, honestly, like they're very similar in a lot of ways, but I think Islam is just like Habib's gonna put you in there. He's gonna try to drown you. He's gonna
Right.
he wants you to suffer. Islam wants like, all right, let me get you out of there. Like, I feel bad. Like he has a heart. Like,
Right.
But let me just tap you out. Like Habib is like if he sees you suffering, he's like happy about it. Like, he's smiling. Oh yeah, I see you breaking. Let me break you. Islam is like, all right, I see your arm there. All right, I'll make you tap out.
He put you out of your misery, right?
Yeah, let me put you out of your misery. But yeah, going with Islam, it was like what I learned. First of all, he's hilarious. Like I tell people, like,
really?
you guys know how funny Islam is. Like I told him, like, bro, you need to get yourself a podcast because he's hilarious, but he's also like one of the humble dudes I ever met. Like he taught me so much. Wow. And it was like his fight weekend. He was like, hey, do this like this. And I'm like, bro, you have the biggest fight of your life coming up.
Wow.
Something. So it was very cool to see. And just seeing like his sense of he's in the back, like texting on the phone and just like chilling. And I was like, we're in the locker room with him for his fight. I was like, bro, this is crazy. How relaxed he is. You're fighting Charles Oliveira.
Right. For the title.
So that was like just so cool to see. But other than that, man, bro, all of them were amazing.
That's
like
so great.
They had guys there that aren't in the UFC. People don't even know their names, but they're monsters and they're so young. And I'm telling myself, like, bro, I got to get this title and get the heck out of here because they're coming.
You moved up a spot, ranked 4th now. Who do you want next? Is it Colby or Hamza? I mean, who is it that you want next? And what's the path to getting that title shot?
Yeah, I feel like it's like I did an interview and I told him like, yeah, unless they have a cut in their name, I don't want to fight them. Like Kobe, that Kamaru, Leon Rocky Edwards, like those guys. Those are the only 4 guys that I need to fight. I went downward fighting Brady, so I'm only looking upward now. I don't think Kobe's gonna take the Hamza fight like people are saying. I don't think he has a fight either. Like, he's only fought in guys that are on losing streaks, and he's only beating guys that are on losing streaks. So, he has this whole court case. He has all these excuses. So I don't think he really wants to fight. Hamza and me make the most sense, especially if they're going to put us on the same card as Kamaru and Leon. Yeah.
And
so
the winner of your fights the winner of that fight.
Exactly. That should be that's the clear path. That's the only thing that makes sense. We're the only guys in the division winning right now. The only guys in the division that are on streaks. So it should be clear. And we want to fight each other. Like we've tweeted out, like, hey, I'm down, you're down.
So you're not scared of him, Belal? And I know you're not scared of anybody, but I'm just going to ask the question because some people seem to not want to fight Hamza, but you obviously are the opposite. No fear of this guy to where you don't want to get in there with him. I'm sure you have a healthy respect, but no fear of him.
Yeah, I come in there with like my mentality is I think I'm the best fighter in the world. I think I'm the best person in the world. So I want to fight the best guys. Even before the fight, I was screaming Hamza's name. I'm like, I know that if I fight him, I beat him. There's no one else. Like if I fight Gilbert Burns right now, I beat Gilbert Burns. They're still gonna say Hamza deserves the title shot next. If I fight Kobe, they're still gonna say Hamza deserves the title fight next, just because of his aura and his his record and everything like that. So I want to go directly to him, and there's nothing else after that. There's no denying me after that. And I know that for me, for what I've done, I've already been through the trenches. I've had the highest highs and the lowest lows. That I know that there's not an easy path for me to get to this title. I know that I have to go through the top boss. And right now he's the top boss that I have to get through. So that's why I want to do that one. I love the matchup wise. I think that people are telling me that I was going to get out muscled by Sean Brady. They're telling me I was going to get out wrestled by Sean Brady. And I'm like, you guys haven't watched me fight. You guys don't know what I'm capable of. You don't know what I put myself through, and how hard I work. I do. I know what I'm good at. And I think that Hamza's a good matchup for me.
Yeah, it seems like just the more people doubt you, just continue to win. If he's watching this, Belal, is there a message that you would have for Khamzat Chimaev?
Brother, sign the contract. Let's get this, man. Like we've already said it before. You said, oh, Nate Diaz, then you beat Nate Diaz. Well, you were supposed to fight Nate Diaz. Didn't happen. So let's go, me and you. There's nothing else for either of us. We're the only ones that make sense. I'm on a winning streak. You're on a winning streak. Somebody's all got to go.